Hello and welcome once again to another Imperator Invictus dev diary. Now, for those of you who may not know, Imperator Invictus is a community-driven effort by very many modders of Imperator Rome to create a sort of flavorful mod pack for everyone to enjoy Imperator Rome in, and kind of like a continuation of the development that the developers have since stopped doing. So without further ado, let's have a look at today's... I say today's, it was yesterday's dev diary. They're released every Monday. Unfortunately, they're released a little bit too late in the day for me to actually get a video out in time. But we can have a look at it now. This one was from yesterday. So, hi all. Today we will be showing off some more mods we have integrated, some more heritages, some new deities, and an art teaser for next week's dev diary. To begin, I will talk more some more mods we've been able to integrate, which will add small but useful tweaks. So first off, we have the grey neutral units mod, which will make it so that the neutral units have a grey background. You can also see an example below, along with some of the beautiful wonder models in the background. So what this is this little model right here. In the vanilla version of the game, the color, instead of it being grey here, is like this very dark brown, which makes it very difficult to tell the difference between what is an unhired mercenary unit and what is an actual enemy. So changing that to grey is a fantastic first step. Also, the flag on here has changed from vanilla as well. In the vanilla game, there is an issue, I believe, with some of the some of the flag localization files, or I don't know, mod stuff, I don't really know. But it makes it so that the yellow laurel here is actually this kind of like a cyan blue, which is a little bit strange, but the models have figured a way to fix that and get us back to this lovely yellow. Yeah, sure, let's go. Alright, moving on. Oh, right, before we actually move on, the wonder model here, this is of course Carthage, and Carthage now has its own wonder, the Kothon. But we'll get to that later on in the dev diary. Just wanted to point out I did not miss it. It's there, and it looks lovely, and we'll get on to it later. So, another integrated mod is the Clear Speed Indicator mod, which just makes the speed indicator a bit cleaner. Again, what happens in the vanilla game is we have this, they have red for which speed you're on, but the unused speeds are like a dark brown, and it makes it very difficult to see what the difference is between like what speed you're on and what's next. Whereas this one, very, very easy to tell. This is at 3 speed. It's very, very simple, good change, lovely. Both mods were provided to us by the lovely Agamede. Agamede, of course, making the better UI mods, and he's a prolific modder with a crap ton of talent, and Paradox should totally hire him to do UX and UI and stuff like that. So, moving on. Now, as many of you may have noticed, I'm playing Carthage in the preview above. This is not without reason, as we have decided to integrate an adapted version of the Mundus Phoenicus, nailed that, mod made by How About Not. Mundus Phoenicius, I'm going to call it Phoenicius, whatever, is a large flavor expansion mod for Carthage. Here are some examples of what we've integrated. So we've got some mission trees, kind of hard to tell really what these do, but there's a mission tree. It's a fairly short one, very, very small, but there might be some pretty interesting stuff within it, who knows. So we have that one, and we have the Agasis of Melkart. I believe this is looking like an event, maybe an event chain, or something in here called the Agasis of... No? Maybe this, maybe whatever this was fired this event, who knows. But some nice flavorous text in there, which is kind of nice. Some stuff that is under development. I think if you fire events like this with the console, it has stuff like Lord localization character _217 or some crap like that. So yeah, it makes sense to cover that part up. We also have this ambrosial olive tree, which looks like it is a treasure. Yeah, it looks like it's a treasure. So giving integrated culture happiness +3 is pretty decent. It's not bad at all, especially if you put it in the capital. Not bad, not bad. And we also have the Great Kothon, which is the massive naval shipyard building that was built in Carthage and allowed them to have a pretty sizable, sexy fleet. I think, potentially, it may have been a good idea to kind of work on where the port placement was. Maybe you could sort of like hide it within this smaller building. Or hide it within the entire ring, so this ship looks like it's docked in the central building. That could be kind of cool. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, it's awesome to have the Kothon in there. I mean, it should be in there. Like, as far as wonders go, we have things like the Temple of Jupiter Optimus Maximus in Rome. I think the Great Kothon definitely should be along those same lines. I will point out once again, though, this is not going to be it's not going to be something I'm going to give up complaining about. I really hate the wonders that start on the map because they straight up bad. So we have the Carthage Great Kothon here giving you Honored Admirals 4. This is the same benefit as you get from the Colossus of Rhodes. You get your Loyalty of Admirals, you get your Morale, and you get your Morale of Navies, Morale Recovery, whatever. Right? So you've got this really sexy building with its own graphics, it's got its unique name. No one else is going to be able to build a Great Kothon. However, what you can do is, if you have enough money, you could build something that looks like a goddamn grain silo out in the middle of bloody nowhere, in the middle of a desert, for example, and you can, given enough time to get the prestige to level 4, have, Honored Admirals 4 on a wooden grain silo in the middle of the desert. Because reasons. You can also, if you want, not just having Honored Admirals, you could also have it do the naval repair at sea, and you can also have it make your citizens happier. Any wonder that you personally build yourself can have 3 effects on it, whereas all of the wonders that start the game, like we have the Carthage Great Kothon, we have Pyramids Giza, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, the Palace of the Archaeads, all of the great wonders of the world, and also some of the smaller ones, Taxila, Samagitia, that kind of thing. They're all given enough time, objectively inferior to stuff that you can build yourself. And I fucking hate that. I absolutely hate the idea that you can build some fucking wooden grain silo and have it be objectively better than the pyramids or the Carthage Great Kothon or whatever. It makes no fucking sense to me, and I hate it. What I would love to see, and maybe this is a kind of a shout out to the Invictus devs, give all of the wonders that start, that are there on game start, give them unique effects, give them unique bonuses that none of your personal buildings that you can build, your own wonders, that none of them can emulate. Make them all unique, so that if I have the Palace of the Archaeads, taking the Pyramids of Giza will be completely useless because, they have the same effect right now, which makes no fucking sense. Make it so that, they're all unique, and so it'd be a nice thing to collect them, because every single one that you take is going to give you something different that you cannot emulate by building your own. That would make these wonders actually special, because right now the only thing special about them, the absolute pinnacle of their specialness, is the unique model. And I'm sorry, that ain't fucking good enough. And this isn't aimed at the Invictus devs, of course. This is aimed primarily at whoever decided to add the wonders in the game. Because, yeah, cool, we got some unique models and stuff to place on the map, and that's nice and stuff. But Jesus, just why did you make it so that they're so fucking monotonous, bland? They're all the fucking same. It's such wasted and lost potential. Yeah, make all the fucking wonders. Give them unique effects that you cannot emulate. Done. Fucking done. There we go. Moving on. I'm probably gonna rage about that again in the future, but for right now, I mean, moving on. Now, there's more content from Mundus Phoenicius, but we can't show off everything yet. Next, we have the enhanced cultural decisions made by Dustin, which will be adapted by us. The mod changes how you get access to new military traditions. For example, in order to access Greek traditions, you'll have to do a cultural decision where you decide to adapt their ways of war in return for some malices. So, what this is in your culture screen, you've got your list of cultures, and on every culture you have a decisions menu. Their decisions are different based on the level of acceptedness that they are. So if you do not accept the culture and they're set to just freemen, they'll have a list of decisions that you can do. If you accept them to citizens, they'll have a list of decisions you can do, and your own primary culture also has a unique set of decisions that you can do. I'm not sure which one. I believe it'll probably be the citizen level, and you will get to the decision to study the Greek ways of war. So you can't simply revoke the rights of a culture once you have their traditions, as the entire traditions tree requires you to keep a certain amount of integrated pops at all times. Okay, they don't really explain exactly what is going on here too terribly well. So, traditions in the game. Right now are a case of, say if you're Roman and you go and integrate Macedonian, if you have a certain amount of Macedonians and you're going through your Roman tradition tree, one of the traditions you can take is embrace, I think it's Greco-Roman institutions, something like that, which allows you to then go into the Greek traditions tree. And this is kind of, specifically for multiplayer, very, very unbalanced. So, for example, like that I just said, the Romans can go very easily into the Greek traditions tree, especially as there is a fair number of Greek pops in southern Italy. It is possible to, without going into Greece itself, integrate Greeks and get their traditions. That is possible. However, as Greeks, what you have to do is first get Levantine traditions. Then from Levantine traditions, you need to go and get North African Phoenician or North African Punic traditions, and then go to Rome and get Roman traditions. So you can't. It's not a case of just going back away. You have to, follow the path. Which it makes no sense to me, and that is like the vanilla way. But instead what we have here is the ability to, if you have integrated a culture and you have enough of that culture integrated, so you can't just integrate one Roman pop as Macedon and then, now I can access the Roman tradition. Now, that doesn't work like that. You have to have a certain amount. You have to keep it above a certain amount. And it looks like 30 is the amount that is here. I think that's a little bit too low, if I'm being honest. Personally, I think that should be quite a bit higher. Like, I'd say, at the very least, 100. I would say that because, vanilla needs you to have 500. So I think 100 would be decent enough. 30 just feels... I can get 30 pops just by slave raiding, and I don't think that's really a good idea. But regardless, you need to integrate and keep a certain amount of pops, and then you'll be able to invoke this decision to study their ways of war, and that will give you access to their traditions tree. I think this is a much more balanced way of doing traditions, and yeah, vanilla probably could have done something like this. Be pretty nice. Using the decisions menu more in general would just be very preferable. We don't have nearly enough of that. So, moving on. That is the last of the integrated mods we want to show off this week. Next week, we'll talk about some original stuff to the mod that we're adding. To start off, we have some more Western Mediterranean heritage to show off as we add them around the world. So we've got the Teleotic heritage. I guess this is for the Gymnasian guy. This is, like Ibiza in the Med. So they get less manpower, they get less maintenance on their navies, and their archers are a bit better. Cool. I mean, this is the Baleares, and the one thing that the Baleares are known for in this period are their slingers, and archers are technically slingers. You know what? I should totally suggest that the mod devs rename archers to skirmishers. That would make me very, very happy, actually, because they're not archers. They are like archers do encompass slingers as a part of them. So yeah, famed for their slingers. There we go. It'd be really nice if they renamed this to skirmishers. But anyway, that is what they get. The Numidians get ship damage taken. They get a bit more of that. Their tribesmen are a bit happier, and they get some more morale on their light cav, which makes sense. Numidian cavalry are very much famed in this period. We got the heritage of Homer Scoberon, which is this light blue fella right here. It's on the coast of Iberia, sort of near where Valencia is, I believe. So they get more heavy infantry morale, more military tech investment, but as a cost they have less omen power. I think this is really powerful. This is probably one of my favorite omens now. I think that is really, really nice. I think it's going to be a solid pick for multiplayer especially. And then finally we have the heritage of Emporion. This is northern Iberia, where Barcelona is, I think that one's Barcelona, but it's around the north. This is the Pyrenees. This is like, it's the north. Cool. It gets more commerce income. That is very, very powerful. Citizen happiness, very, very powerful, at the cost of tribesman happiness, which late game, that is irrelevant. No one gives a damn about that. But early game, that is going to be a very big challenge for them, as they, like I said, they're in northern Iberia. They're surrounded by tribesmen. So that's going to be a bit of a challenge. Again, I think that's a really, really powerful heritage. I like these. Gymnasia and Numidia, take them or leave them. They're not terrible. They're not something that I would think, oh, I'm never going to play this country because it's got a trash heritage. But these ones they actively make me want to play the country. So I like this. I like these two very, very much. All right, next up. We'll move on to the next subject, new deities. As mentioned last time, several new deities were added to the Tuistic religion. One such example of these new deities is Galter, another name for Odin. From Roman sources, we know that the Gauti in Scandia and the Gthones in Pomerania were named in honor of this deity. The cult might have originated in Scandinavia and spread to the continent during the Nordic Bronze Age. As a god of wisdom, he will grant you a passive military experience gain, and when activated, an increase to research points. As somebody who lives in Scandinavia and northern Germany, I realize I said that as if it was me personally who lives there. In the game, if you are in those regions, you are not going to have a whole lot of research. So getting that passive military experience gain and the bonus to research points, it's really not going to do a whole lot for you. It really isn't. Plus 8% on fuck all is pretty much still fuck all. I can imagine it would be very, very powerful if you could deify your ruler. Maybe it could, maybe Galter deified could be a flat amount of research points that you get. That would be pretty cool. But just giving 8% research points, it'd be powerful if you, as a Greek, managed to get Galter, but as it stands, that it's powerful in the wrong place. Like, if I had a deity in Greece that gave me monthly military experience. Oh, that's experience. It's not even research. Okay, this is really good. This is really, really good. This research point's really bad. But Okay, so if I had Gauter in Greece, I would be taking it immediately, because that's just fantastic, and 80% research points again in Greece is really, really good as well. In Germany, less so. I mean, this is still really, really good though. I would definitely have Gauter in my pantheon. It may not be the one that I select for the active. Yeah, that's the way I'd see it. It's something that definitely be in your pantheon. Probably don't ever click it for the Omen bonus, though. Alright, and finally, Gauthar will be just one among a number of new deities that will be available for the Tuistic religion. The religion as a whole will have new deity icons, though they have yet to be completed, hence why they're not featured in the teaser above. Moving on, we have a bit of art that will be added to the mod, made by Nerdman3000. It also serves as a teaser for next week's Dev Diary. What could this possibly be? It looks like a tent with Roman shield and the Roman eagle and all that kind of good jazz. Here's a thing, because I know what it is, but for you, dear viewer, how about in the comment section below you guess what this is? Obviously it's a piece of artwork. Where will it go? Let me know. Let me know your thoughts. Finally, we've listened to some feedback, and yes, the Tamil heritage shown last week now has a malice. This is a minor slip-up by us. All heritages should be of the format of 2 positives and 1 negative going forward. Keep in mind that all screenshots are a work in progress. We're making sure that the dynastic names decision is compatible with multiplayer as well. Lovely stuff. Now we also welcome in the new members to the Invictus team, Omega Core and Dimitar. Looking forward to seeing what they have to offer. Lovely stuff. All right. I guess we'll have this open while I talk. Imperator Invictus is coming along really nicely. It is coming along really nicely, and the team there are great. They listen to feedback, so if you would like to give some feedback, or maybe you are a modder yourself and you wish to help out with the project, there will be a link in the description to their Discord, so you can join up and have a chat with the devs, offer your suggestions, all that kind of good jazz. And yeah, maybe we'll make Imperator great again. Hashtag save Imperator. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.